Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. WCS the first in the building. Big salute to everyone that's on deck, that's on their way in. Yes, I want to speak. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I just want to, bring it to your attention once again, on the state of affairs, the current events in the aftermath of Deontay Wilder losing. So, the left hand, what I'm saying is, I would say, the right hand, so to speak, to counter Deontay Wilder's left hand. In the orthodox position, what I'm saying, one of the golden rules of the southpaw fighter is to come over the top of that lead jab, right? And with Deontay, he's pretty much encountered those problems. Looking back at the fight, he encountered those problems. You know what I'm saying? He had a situation that he encountered with Luis Ortiz that hurt him. And he had a situation recently last night where he encountered it with Zhang, who hurt him with the right hand. Right hand forward is the southpaw position with your lead right foot forward. Okay. He was able to counter Wilder, who was executing a pretty lazy jab, to be honest with you. Pretty lazy jab just to throw it out there to set up a right hand. It's a way that you do it, but you have to make sure you outside of distance. If you're going to throw a lazy jab, you need to make sure you outside of distance so you won't get countered. But for Deontay Wilder, though, I guess he was just trying to basically get Zhang to understand a rhythm that he wasn't in control of himself. It seemed like Wilder wasn't in control of his own rhythm. He was doing certain things that they worked on, but I don't think they really worked on it. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I do know that people was insinuating it was something else besides a right hand that hurt him. Yeah, the right hand is what hurt him. And then, it was a right hand that he got hit with again to knock him to the canvas. That wasn't the first time he was hurt during that fight. He was hurt. He was hurt. Previously, he got hit pretty good and early in his fight with Zhang. But, the final time is when, he landed it, the punch placement, the power that he had on it, the timing, spun Wilder around. I see the people making memes like, Wilder was trying to pretend like, it didn't hurt him or he was talking. No, he had the same effect Zab Judah had when he tried to get up too fast from Costa Zoo. You know what I'm saying? I know Deontay Wilder wasn't down yet, but when he was hit with that hand and he was spun around, that's called being disorientated. He was hurt. Let me get to the chat. First in the building, Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. What's good with the Blunts? I see you, bro. Well, I'm not on my microphone. I'm on I'm having some stuff fixed or whatever. So I am not on my regular components, and I would just I would just ask that you all be extremely patient. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the regular setup that I have going on right here, but it will be fixed very soon. Shout out to Bud Gunstop Canelo in the building. Salute. Salute WCS Wilder, definitely in the Hall of Fame. No doubt, no doubt. No doubt. Arnold Brown in the building. What's good with it? We're gonna get to that. Jay in the building. So let's let's talk about certain areas, right? Wilder was hurt with a right hand that Jane countered him with because he executed a lazy left hand jab. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that going on in the fight. It was a lot. It was only a matter of time before what? Jane make adjustments, man. It was a matter of time before he make adjustments. There are some pluses and minuses that went on for Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He kept his distance very well. When he was on the ropes, he did slip underneath, some hard punches that could have took him out. He did use his movement, but with that said, you have to be consistent. And Wilder has shown that he can be consistent. Like he can be consistent in the trilogy. He started off, jabbing to the body and doing some consistent, work, something that they had tried to add to their repertoire, but he didn't stick with it the entire fight. His movement was good. He did use head movement while he was on the ropes. I didn't know why he was on the ropes, except that he was trying to bring Zhang into a situation where he can counter him with the right hand. Zhang wasn't going for it. So when Wilder hurt Zhang with the right hand in the fourth round, it gave him confidence. I don't know what the hell Malik Scott was doing. You know what I'm saying? Or what he told him to my, hey, he's getting tired. Yeah. Well, it was bad motherfucking advice. Because when they came out in the fifth round and Deontay decided to square up in the center square in the middle of the ring, doing the same thing, he tried to get closer. You know what I'm saying? His whole purpose was to get closer now because he felt he can land the right hand. And Zhang countered him with the right. Stung him. Blitzed him. You know what I'm saying? We have impact. Zhang lit him up with that right hand counter, bro. Wilder went, stumbling back to whatever conversation he was having. He was disorientated, and then Zhang hit him again in the head. It wasn't in the back of the head. It was on the side of his head. I looked at the fight again several times. It wasn't on the back of his head. It was on the side of his head. It was a clean punch, no controversy. Wilder went down, and he did get up. But the referee deemed that he wasn't fit to carry on. He probably looked in his eyes, which the camera view over there, we couldn't see in his eyes. But the referee deemed him, you know what I'm saying, unfit to freaking carry on with that fight. Because Zhang is sitting at 282, probably 285 on that night after he eating that damn steak over there and whatever else they had for him. I look at it like this, y'all. Real talk. And I'm going to get to the haters that's been coming to me like I'm his cousin or something. I don't know what to tell y'all. But let's get to the Malik Scott situation. Like I said last night, Deontay had 48 fights in his professional career. All right? 48 freaking fights. That was his fourth loss. That was the fourth fight that he had been with Malik Scott. Malik was there for the trilogy with Fury, Robert Helenius, Joseph Parker, and Zhang, Big Bang Zhang. He lost to Fury in the trilogy, won for Robert Helenius, lost to Parker, lost to Zhang. He went 1 for 3 with Malik Scott as a head coach, head trainer. 1 and 3. So when Jay says that, what did Jay say? What did Jay say for a second? Jay said Malik didn't serve well. So this is the way I look at it, Jay. That was something that we seen. People was talking about after the loss in the trilogy, right? They were saying Malik Scott, they need to train. They need to change trainers, man. He ain't it. And I was like, that's only one fight. I mean, that's only really one fight. How can you judge somebody off one fight? And then the Robert Helenius fight, it didn't last long to do anything. And then Deontay Wilder, check this out. Deontay Wilder, looked very sluggish and disinterested. Looked like he had declined. He just wasn't there as the Bronze Bomber, the bomb squad. He just wasn't there. The energy wasn't there, right? So that goes for another loss under tutelage or the training banner of Malik Scott. So right now he's 1-2 with Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker lost, put Malik Scott 1-2. Then the Zhang fight, he looked a bit better than he did with the Parker fight. He was able to land some shots early on, but nothing truly effective to the point to change some momentum and take it back from Zhang pressuring him. But Zhang did show Wilder respect now. 214, Zhang showed Wilder respect in a sense that he knew Wilder can crack and he felt it. He even said it after the fight. But when Zhang made his adjustment in the fifth round, when he seen that Wilder gained confidence for landing that right hand, he said, okay, now it's time for us to test power for power, punch for punch, and see who lasts. Since he's coming off the ropes now, he's coming out to play, and he want to get closer. Let me see, can he stand my right hand? Let me see, can he withstand my right hand? Because Zhang is a southpaw, and he landed that again. I think the first time he landed was in round 3, round 2 or 3, and then he turned around and landed it in the 5th. Spent Wilder around, and then finishing with a right hand. And that was all she wrote. When Wilder hit the canvas, he got up and, clearly, based off the punishment he has received doing Wilder Fury 2 and 3, the damage he took with Joseph Parker, you know what I'm saying, and him being knocked down in this fight, it was a good call for the referee not to let it go on. Now, anybody who followed me back then, of course, I said that, the fight should have went on when he stepped in there with Fury for the rematch for the second time. But, he was taking punishment that fight. But at the end of the day, some of these fighters like Deontay said they want to go out on their shield. Well, he went out on his shield against Zhang, man. And all I'm saying there, Wilder, is it's been a hell of a ride, bro. Now we have to look at you being able to sustain your faculties. The good thing about it, he don't have to have Malik Scott as a coach no more. Because that dude is 1-3. And we're talking about a fight with Robert Helenius that didn't last. You know what I'm saying? But a sneeze. But I do want to note another thing that I seen, Shah News talk about that was a solid point to caveat Jay's point with Malik Scott didn't serve him well. When Deontay Wilder made it to his feet and the fight was called, and you can check this out over at Shah News, but he did a video where Malik Scott is over there in Zhang's corner, congratulating or hugging. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but he wasn't over there with Wilder. Now, I don't know when this took place. I don't know. I don't know if it was cut to anything or whatever, because I did see Wilder and Malik Scott arguing. They had an argument going on. I don't know what the shit was about. I'm pretty sure it was a lot to argue about. I didn't give a damn to care what they was talking about. Real talk. Like, I don't know what they could have been arguing about. But all I know is Malik Scott was over there hugging Zhang's, corner and all that. And I was like, have you even, checked on Wilder? Do you know if your boy's okay? Your day one, the one that kept you by his side for whatever reason that was. Have you been over there to check on him? Or it's just one of those boxers type thing, like he'll be all right. He got up. He good. He good. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say partially, that's what it was, because both of them niggas big motherfuckers, professional boxers, and he probably say, oh, you okay? All right, he gonna go over here. Some people don't like being babied and pampered, especially when the camera's rolling. So I don't put 100% blame on Malik Scott for going over there, but it did look strange and weird and out of place, man. To be over there, your fighter just got knocked out. But then again, I understand what sportsmanship is. I understand that they possibly could have been on they had a good rapport with Zhang's corner and Zhang as a fighter. So they were just showing that respect. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it, man, because even some kids these day and time, they in the sports, they don't want their parent coming up there pampering them if they're in a tough sport and they get hurt. Because other kids look at that as a sign of weakness. You know, um, I don't put too much emphasis. It did seem and look weird to me. How he was over there giving full blown hugs. What is that a hug about? You about to go teach Zhang something? I mean, goddamn Zhang, stay far away from that shit, nigga. I mean, I don't know. That wasn't it, man. Malik Scott wasn't it. So when people say Malik didn't serve him well, and I look at it like I can't really go against the grain on what he said and disagree with it. Because that man, the first time he stepped up, Deontay, he did go longer than he did in the rematch. He went to the 11th round with Fury in the trilogy, but he was stopped. So there were knockdowns back and forth. So, Malik Scott fans are going to say, hey, Deontay Wilder almost went the distance with Fury outside of him being stopped in the 7th round in the rematch. So there was some pluses in there. You know what I'm saying? He made progress, so to speak. But that's based off Wilder doing the same thing. He started off doing some different shit, jabbing to the body, you know what I'm saying? And really trying to stay fundamentally sound with the combos. Then it went back to him just looking for the money shot. So when you have that many fights, 40 fights, right? Yeah, certain things is going to be difficult for you to get away from. And that's just the way it is, people. It's just certain things. You've been in the sport that long, doing something that wasn't broke until Tyson Fury freaking beat you for the first time, and then they say, okay, now we have to do something about it. Through the controversy, they put freaking Malik Scott as the head trainer. And then I remember people telling me, hey, what do you think about that? I never knew Malik Scott like that. I never was too fond of him as a trainer because I haven't seen his work. You know what I'm saying? I just know that whenever somebody, tried to ask him a question or talk to him for a general conversation, he would take you out on an astrology odyssey. He would take you out all the way to Venus, Pluto, and Mars, and say, hey, when it comes to boxing, the Milky Way really plays a significant role, when you tie that in with, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just making light of it. I just never really was fond of him as a trainer, but I did give him a chance to see what he had to offer to Wilder. That's all I'm saying, man. Jones on deck. What's good with it, bro? Wilder punch resistance gone since Fury magic gloves in the second fight. It's been over since then. I don't quite know his punch resistance. Was gone. I just look at him fighting the best heavyweight. Supposedly at the time, the best heavyweight. And when you really dive and start going, looking through the index of Wilder's career, right? Y'all have to understand as fight fans, man. It's not. I'm not telling you or speaking to you as if me and you are on different levels of receiving instructions or what my opinion may be. We are age appropriation adults, been in the boxing game for quite some time. Everybody level of understanding period in life is different. The comprehension aspect of it will always be different. But let's look at once again and say to ourselves, before Wilder, it wasn't a heavyweight that was doing anything big in the US, right? Romain Stavern was a Jamaican. All right. Whether he claimed to be a US and all that, I'm pretty sure he had his citizenship, of course. But when Wilder picked up the belt, People could not just brush it off and say it's nothing. The man picked up a belt from Romain Stavern the first time he ever went the distance was with Romain Stavern, and he gave him a rematch. He gave the man a rematch, bro. And all people talk about is the rematch. They don't talk about how the fight was when he was fighting for the championship. They just talk about the rematch. So with that said, right, as much research as I've been attempting to do, and I've snuck out the Area 59. I've never been able to witness or somehow my phone lose service the closer I get to the facility. I was trying to see if there's Area 59, there's a compartment in there that clones fighters. Because boxing fans tend to have this foggy sense of understanding that when the Klitschko brothers was dominating, the US of A didn't have any freaking, heavyweight up there that can do and step up to the plate and represent and defeat them guys. But when Wilder stepped up and he ended up being the one, the US heavyweight champion, we all know what happened. We already know what the rhetoric was. We already know what the push was. Yes, he gave us highlight reel knockouts, but they was talking about he's a windmiller. But from look from the time he entered the sport all the way to picking up his championship to the time he was defending, all the way up to number 10. Those fights that you say he was windmilling, they count as a win, right? They count as a win. He fought all the way up undefeated, laid down every man on the end of his windmill right hand that he could. At one point in time, he was leveled. You know what I'm saying? He was leveled until he went up there with Romain Stavern. And then he gave him the rematch and he closed him out. So at that point in time, the message was that, Bomb Squad, he had dynamite in his freaking hand. And though he was lighter than most heavyweights, he was still able to deliver that power punch, right? But y'all have to understand, man, it wasn't a lot. And it's still, right now, it isn't a lot. There isn't a cloning facility that is making these heavyweights of all ethnicities to come up here and challenge for the US of A to gain back those championships. It don't exist, y'all. So if y'all want to sit up here and erase what Wilder did from the time he picked up the WBC belt to the time he lost it in February 2020, well, do me a favor. Go find the next guy. Because it doesn't make us look very smart and intelligent as boxing enthusiasts if we're just going to say we're going to wipe away an Olympian, a US Olympian, but yet in 2024 we're going to turn back the clock and now we're going to support these Olympians that's fighting for the last Olympics for boxing for quite some time. Now we're about to go on a hiatus of no boxing in the Olympics. I don't know how many years it's going to be. Because Olympics is every 4, right? I don't know how many Olympics it's going to be. But right now, we're about to say that we have some U.S. Olympians that's going in there to compete. And you have to say to yourself, damn, I just finished dogging out an Olympian, bronze medalist, who's the only fighter from the U.S. to medal, you know what I'm saying, in that Olympics. So you got to take it for what it's worth. Either you a all about patriotism, or you don't give a fuck about that. You just say, "Oh, I'm a farewell bandwagon rider. Whoever I choose to support, that's who I'm going to support. I don't really care what nobody else say. They can say what they want. Wilder this, Wilder that. This man was a U.S. Olympian. It's almost like when you have vets that go in for 4 years and get out, and you try to dilute how important their 4 years of service was. But they served 4 years of military service. And then you get somebody that did 20, 25 years, and they're talking to this veteran that did 4 years and try to act like, well, I did 25 years, and that little 4 years you did didn't mean nothing to our core and country. I went to combat 2 of those 4 years, though, for a year straight. I went over there to Iraq for a year straight, twice. Oh, my apologies. My apologies. That changes things up. You went to combat 2 of those 4 years. I was a grunt. I was infantry. Yeah, I was infantry. So I was pretty active during my 4 years. Oh, I apologize. Sometimes I just get wrapped up in the tradition. I'm like, come on, bro. Wilder was a bronze medalist, bro. Ended up picking up the coveted WBC title. Now he was stopped by Zhang last night, and he had made a point. He had made a strict point for us to understand that if he loses, it's a high possibility he's done. And you know what? I don't feel no type of way when a person comes to that point in their career when it's time to call it quits. The man say he was done, man, if he loses. So he's done. He's out. It's time to activate his eligibility of inactivity for the Hall of Fame next. Once again, I repeat, if he's indeed retired, effective immediately, it activates his eligibility for the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to go back and forth with nobody about this. I'm not on Deontay Wilder's team as an employee. All I'm saying is he's retired. It activates his eligibility for the Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter what you say. If you're trying to sway me to say that he's not going to get in the Hall of Fame, all I'm going to tell you is say, look back at some of these other boxers who's in the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to go tit for tat with you, and argue you up and down about Wilder making it to the Hall of Fame or not. He's a Hall of Famer, yo. Whether you goddamn appreciate it or not, he's in the Hall of Fame. His 10 successful title defenses, level him up with Muhammad Ali, bro. You know what I'm saying? But people just look at, don't put him in the freaking the same conversation with Muhammad Ali. Nobody's putting him in the same conversation. Ali was a 3-time heavyweight champion. Nobody's putting Wilder and Ali in the same conversation, except when it comes to defense of their title. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it was 25, maybe we'd be talking about Sugar Ray Robinson or something. I mean, I don't know, but at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, man. And just because you feel that it's easy for you to say, he ain't going to be a Hall of Famer, it doesn't mean it's not going to go down, bro. It's going to go down. It's going to go down, man. It's going to go down whether you like it or not. Like, you can look at some other names that's in the Hall. You can do your own research. Look at some of the other names that's in the Hall of Fame that did less than Wilder. And then you'll find out, hey, you just being a bitter, scorned, hating ass boxing fan that really wasn't a Deontay Wilder fan to begin with. But now he gets beat. People are talking about it like he's coming back again. He said he was done. Now, I feel some type of way if he come back and fight Jared Anderson. Because, look, they keep on bringing Derek Chisora back. But nobody says anything because he's a Brit. This man is coming back to fight, you ready? Joe Joyce. Why? 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 Somebody tell me. Why? Why is Derek Chisora? Derek Chisora is in the double digits of losses, and don't nobody say shit. Don't nobody say shit about goddamn Derek Chisora. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. He's this. They don't care about him. But you know who they care about? They do care about Wilder, though. They care about him enough to continue to mention his name, and then whoever support him heavy, y'all want to communicate in my DMs and trying to act like it's personal. I'm like, bro, this shit ain't personal. I can't do shit for Wilder. You know, he has more numbers in his account with commas than I do. That's it. Because I rub it in your face that I was able to cover him while he was reigning defending. That's a fact. That's a truth. But him going in there, losing this fight, and say he's retiring activates his eligibility ASAP. ASAP, yo. It ain't nothing rocky about it. It activates that shit ASAP. It starts ticking the days away for him to become eligible to get his induction. And when people say that he ain't fought nobody, well, you're trying to tell me all the big names is where? Where's this freaking holding cell? Well, all those killers, Hannibal Lecters, Jason, Freddy, all the damn Kodiak Mac. Where are all these goddamn heavyweight killers that's around here? Because, okay, you know, they'll say Joshua, right? But then they don't tell you how Joshua quit against Andy Ruiz, a last minute replacement. I can't find one of Deontay Wilder losses that say he quit. Quitting does stand for something. Quitting does stand for something. That means you want to take the easy way out, and your heart and your mind was on the same sheet of music. They were saying, hey man, you don't have to do this, man. Don't do it. You don't have to push yourself, man. Just jump out the hatch, man, pull the cord, man, get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Every challenge ain't for everybody now. Get up out of here, Joshua. Spit out your gum shield. You don't have to, this guy's too much, man. You know, whoever picked him, they fucked up. Get up out of here, Joshua. He quit. So look, you can ask about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury gets credit for Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder doesn't get credit for Tyson Fury because he went in there and lost two straight in the rematch and the trilogy, and then the first one went to a draw. So Deontay Wilder gets no credit for going to arbitration and selecting to fight Tyson Fury a third time to get his title back. Did you hear me? You trying to say this man gets no credit for showing the world what type of cloth he was cut from? You know what I'm saying? You trying to tell me he don't get any credit for one to walk back through the lion's den, walk back through the inferno. He wanted to step back in the ring with a fighter who defeated him for the first time in his career. He wanted to get it back in blood, bro. But for a fighter to quit, and as a non-US fighter, I think some of you all are getting confused with the colors of the flag. I guess you say, well, British flag, to be honest, mate, it's red, white, and blue, is it not? So am I absolutely doing myself a disservice? Yeah, mate. Hey, I'll say it like this. I mean, it don't matter who I support. Yeah, uh, I support who I support. They're both red, white, and blue flags. I think some of y'all are confused what the flag is because they have the same colors. I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. But Wilder quit. Tyson Fury was relieved of his duty and suspension for cheating. No one talks about that, but they always want to criticize Wilder. And then they get angry and feel some type of way because I bring this shit up. Wilder never was kicked out of the sport for cheating. No one never said he was a crackhead or he was on coke. You know what I'm saying? Nobody never said Wilder was on coke. But when Tyson Fury comes back to the sport, he uses that as the punchline to say he went through mental health. And everybody starts to stroke him and say, oh, we understand. We here hand and foot. We here with our arms wide. We here to hug you, embrace you, Tyson Fury. We welcome you back. Tyson Fury never defended his unified titles that he had prior to getting kicked out the sport for cheating. The only way, due to boxing politics, he was able to fight Vladimir because he was on appeal. Imagine that. Imagine that. So Tyson Fury comes back and fight Francisco Pianetta. Who the fuck? Who the fuck? And then you're talking about Sefa Safari. What the fuck? The only thing he got out of that was a nice, wet kiss in front of millions for a fighter that we don't even know of. We haven't heard nothing about since then. Then he fought Deontay Wilder and then went to a draw. Then he fought Tom Schwartz. Okay, who that? What? Another say the who that. Another who that. We don't know. And then he fought Otto Wallin and had a tough fight. Got a cut over his right eye. And no one was really talking about that. Then he went over to the freaking WWE and wrestled Braun Strowman and played around over there. And then he came back to fight Wilder. That was pre-pandemic. But what did Fury do? Like in his quest as champion, he never defended his title. And how many times did he defend these titles since getting the title from Wilder? How many times did he defend them? It wasn't 10. So basically, the same fighter y'all criticizing, Wilder, you give Fury credit for beating Wilder. But you don't give Wilder credit for stepping in that 3 times with Fury. That's just crazy, man. That's just stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's making some of you all look like and sound like a simpleton. You know what I'm saying? It seems like you're digressing intellectually to process in a way that you can say, okay, I can do this without being non-biased. We're talking about Tyson Fury being put on the magazine with Teofimo Lopez after beating a fighting Wilder who they say fought nothing but bums. But you check Fury's resume. Who? Ask him, who's the best? No, we're talking about Usyk, before Usyk. Who's the best fighter that Fury has faced up to this point? It wasn't freaking Vladimir. It wasn't Fatali. This man was on his way into retirement. So if you're going to say all the bums that Wilder fought, let's talk about the last one that Fury fought before he went on several years hiatus. Klitschko didn't fight nobody else until he fought Joshua. That's a fact. He was on his way to retirement. He was damn near out of the ring for over a year and a half. Eddie Hearns and Joshua had to go up there in the Himalayas, the Appalachian, the motherfucking. They had to go to the ice caps. They had to damn be flown in because Klitschko was up there, freaking skinning polar bears and ice fishing, and building goddamn underground freaking ice bunkers. And they had to goddamn present him, hey, how you doing? Calm down. I know you haven't seen Civilization in a minute, but hey, we want to ask you something. Is there any way you can come back to fight Joshua for the WBA title? We just scooped up Charles Martin belt because we paid him a nice little penny. And oh my God, if there's ever a member of the boxing dive team, that was the guy to start it all off. And then, Klitschko damn near came in here and beat Joshua. Joshua was manufactured. How many times did Joshua successfully, consistently defend his titles when he had them? It wasn't 10. I guarantee you that. It wasn't 10, baby. He goddamn beat Joseph Parker, who survived. He survived rather than try to damn keep his WBO title. And then, Andy Ruiz took him. And then somehow, some way, You know, Andy Ruiz fell into a buffet, not to be seen again until he came out 348 pounds of freaking, you know, noodle lard, and went over there to Saudi, waddling around on the freaking sand. The first Mexican heavyweight, didn't successfully defend the title once. Joshua get the titles back, have a couple of fights, and then all of a sudden Usyk comes in and take him. Not only did he take him, but he had a rematch in there, and Joshua couldn't even get his titles back. So we're talking about Wilder, Fury, Joshua. Okay, that was the three names that was over here before Usyk came in over here and fought Chad Witherspoon, or whatever his name is, and Derek Chisora. Alexander Usyk wasn't here yet. We're talking about three names. So you're talking about three names, right? Out of all these supposedly heavyweights that Wilder didn't fight. Three names. You subtract one of them, and he fought him three times. Wilder, Fury, Joshua. He fought Fury three times. So remove them two, you have Anthony Joshua remaining. Lost to Ruiz and Alexander Usyk twice. Where are all these big names that Wilder didn't fight when he was reigning and defending? Please, somebody who's not sipping on a margarita, a fresh margarita, you know what I'm saying? Someone who's not sipping strictly from the distilled containers of moonshine. Tell me, where are all these heavyweights? Was it Alexander Usyk? Because they want to bring up how Wilder had the chance to fight Klitschko, right? But he didn't do it. 48 freaking fights, and the only argument they have is who Wilder didn't fight. He had the chance to. Do Klitschko have an O on the right side of his boxing ledger, or do he have a number higher than zero? If the properties of that number register higher than zero, then God damn it, he didn't go leave the sport undefeated. He suffered some losses too. So we need to do ourselves due diligence. We need to find another avenue to take if you're gonna present criteria to the jury of zero to try to fight for justice and say, oh yeah, Wilder was fighting a bunch of nobodies. Where were all the heavyweights? Whether they was U.S. heavyweights, they always want to talk about, oh yeah, he had a fixed fight with Malik Scott. 48 fights. Suppose the top heavyweight, Tyson Fury, formerly unified champion, comes back to the sport. Who embraces him and allow himself to grace the square with the former unified champion, Deontay Wilder? So therefore, they end up fighting a trilogy, which end up on the back of Deontay Wilder's career. It allowed him to make a pretty good, decent amount of money, but also allowed him to basically challenge himself three fights, which a lot of heavyweights aren't doing. What Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua did in their career is similar. They both picked up championships, right? They was on championship level. Of course, Joshua was two-time unified, right? But also they lost to the same fighter twice. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder lost to the same fighter twice. Anthony Joshua lost to Usyk. Wilder lost to Fury. Now, Fury just lost to Usyk. So you can't criticize Deontay Wilder for never fighting Usyk because it was never on the schedule. It was never on the calendar. His inactivity and him being locked in with Fury is never on the calendar. So being a Fury, retained his title by pushing Dillian White into the trash bin. He finally stepped in there and he lost. So what does that say moving forward when it comes to the Deontay Wilder argument? You can't put Usyk in there. Can't put Usyk in there. So where are all these goddamn straight up cave killers? Where are all these freaking gigantuans, them giants that y'all was talking about before Wilder picked up the belt? Y'all love goddamn, consuming this nutrition that you call debunk, debunk pastries, and then you throw it up in your hand, and then you put it back in your mouth and swallow it again, throw it up again, and you keep on regurgitating the same freaking vomit. Where were all the food trucks at that was dropping off all these freaking meal prep plans for these gargantuans, these giants that had to be goddamn fed every single day? And it took a special freaking fleet of vehicles to drive up in these caves and feed them. And then at a certain point in time, these giants showed their face with gloves on and say, "We are ready." They have been training vigorously in the caves of the unknown. Y'all keep on talking about he ain't fight nobody. But when you talk about the top names of the heavyweight division in this era, Wilder, Fury, Joshua, we're keeping Usyk out here because Usyk didn't have anything to do with the equation. We're not talking about Joshua right now. I'm just saying when it came to 2018, when Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder was going at it. Wilder was the champion. Usyk was at cruiserweight. Wilder was the champion, and Joshua was the champion. Fury was out there, with his hair stuck in the flower pot. Literally, the flower. So therefore, we only had these names to deal with until Fury came back on the scene. Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight Wilder. So when Fury came back, Wilder welcomed him, which will go on the backside of his career to be a trilogy. Wilder fighting Robert Helenius in between, nobody's going to be talking about that. Fury fought Dillian White, who was ranting and raving, somebody who had already been knocked out by Anthony Joshua before Joshua was champion. Nobody give Tyson Fury credit for that. Who does Tyson Fury get credit for beating? Okay, who does he get credit for beating in this era since Deontay Wilder fought nothing but bums? Ask him. Ask them who he get credit for prior to the Usyk fight. He didn't beat Usyk. He fought Usyk once. He fought Wilder, beat him twice. Who does he get credit for? So if Tyson Fury is going to get credit for Wilder, Wilder's going to get credit for Tyson Fury and everybody else that he fought all the way up to Tyson Fury. Because without Wilder holding on to that belt, Fury wouldn't have got the opportunity to be on the cover of the magazine, nor would he got the opportunity to fight for Undisputed. But thanks to Wilder, he was able to go in there and do a trilogy, pick up the belt, and end up fighting Usyk, which he lost. So who is this handful of fighters that Fury faced that are these gigantuan mercenaries, these boxing mercenaries? Where is the list that Wilder had of individuals that was hidden off into the caves of the rainforest? Where are all the killers that Alexander Usyk fought when he finally came up from cruiserweight to heavyweight? Chase Witherspoon? Derek Chisora? Check this out. What killers has Usyk fought in the heavyweight division? He fought Anthony Joshua. Oh, okay. So Anthony Joshua was the killer who quit against Andy Ruiz. Man, everywhere you go with this argument, there are flaws, y'all. The roots don't run that deep in this bitch. The roots doesn't run that deep. Anthony Joshua has flaws in his career. Wilder has flaws in his career. Tyson Fury has flaws in his career. Alexander Usyk is the one that just came on the scene. Yes, he beat Joshua twice, but Joshua wasn't undefeated when he beat him. But Usyk beat him twice. Usyk got the juice right now. Usyk got the MF and juice. He beat freaking Joshua twice, and he beat goddamn Tyson Fury. But before Usyk came over here, it was Wilder, Fury, Joshua. So y'all remember that shit when you up here thinking, oh man, he didn't fight the real ones. Okay, who was the real ones then? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out. Okay. All right, cool, cool. They start going, oh, what about Alexander Povetkin? With or without the juice? He had a pretty astounding record. You talking about the one who you know, who y'all want to talk about, Dillian White? I mean, what put him over the top? Joshua? If you want to talk about who has the better heavyweight resume now, it would be Anthony Joshua. If you're talking about this era, Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying, may have the better resume because he did fight three champions, unfortunately. I mean, not a lot of them get credibility, but he did fight the Joseph Parker and the Klitschko. He did fight the Usyk. You know, he do have the Otto Barlin that fought Fury. He does have a Dillian White, Dominique Brazil, who, look, hey, Dominique Brazil fought Wilder. Anthony Joshua, he has some names, i.e., let me bring in Jermaine Franklin. Don't put the sticks up yet. The drum's still going. Let me bring in Robert Helenius. Killers, right? You say they're killers, right? Where are these killers at? Because goddamn, most of these fighters have fought one another. But look, one thing that we can look at in comparison to Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, right? Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. Deontay Wilder still have more professional fights than them. I'm not saying how it's going to be when they select to retire, but he has more fights. So I'm just trying to speak to my American boxing enthusiasts, the diehard fanatics that continue to act like they was on an expedition and they went deep into the caves to help feed, help train these gargantuan heavyweights that was on standby for Deontay Wilder once he picked up his WBC belt. And just because Deontay Wilder was signed with the PBC, the Giants were free agents and they was demanding too much money because living in a cave, they didn't want to go back to that. So they wanted to go in there and demand millions so they can have their first house, their bamboo house built. And that's why the fights fell apart for all the giants, all these 7-foot giants that were supposed to be in the caves training, snacking on freaking bologna sandwiches and Lay's potato chips. Where was all the killers for Wilder? Where was all the killers, man? If you're gonna keep on reaching down in the toilet and grabbing the shit that you just put out and say, "Oh wow, it's much more softer, better texture than last time. Let me put that down there and rinse off my hand again." And then the next time you take a shit, you reach down there. Oh wow, I still see what I had. That corn is still there. Celery, that's a little bit of celery right there. You still regurgitate the same shit, bro. The man is a Hall of Famer, whether you like it or not. Who gives a fuck? Whether you like it or not. I pointed that out on Twitter. Malik ran over to Zhang corner before he even went to Wilder. Okay. I heard it on Shaw News. Shit. But good point, man. Good point. Shout out to Willie Lowe in the building. Salute to you, man. I'm just trying to help them understand when they say the man didn't fight nobody his entire career. I'm trying to find out where all the giants at, man. Where's all the giants that he was supposed to fight? I just see Fury and Joshua. Out of 17 divisions, and the heaviest is there. Where was Wilder supposed to seek out these giants, man? Y'all keep on saying the same shit. He fought bums. Where are all the giants, man? Was Fury the giant? He fought him 3 times. Where's the next giant? Anthony Joshua, he didn't want to fight. They couldn't make it happen. Okay, where are the other giants? Where are all the other giants? Dominique Brazil? Where are all the other giants that Wilder avoided in 48 professional fights? Where are they to prove your argument? How, with 48 fights, he's not getting in the Hall of Fame? It's no way you're going to convince nobody except, if you have that type of hatred meter on your thought, right? That you're going to convince anybody that you can present these names, these phantom names of fighters that he was supposed to fight out of 48 pro fights now. You subtract 4 losses. You subtract 4 losses out of 48 fights. And they saying he ain't getting in the Hall of Fame? Hold up. Maybe I'm missing something. Did you know what? I want to try to find this out. Did Wilder go over to Mexico for half of his freaking resume? That might be it. That might be what I'm missing right there. That might be what I'm missing. Wilder potentially might have went over to Mexico, Tijuana, and that might have been where the Giants was at, and he fought some local regional club fights over there, like Lomachenko did at the WBS, the World Boxing Series, and he didn't want the damn shit put on his record because he wasn't sure he was going to win. That's probably it right there. Wilder probably fought in another country and said, per the agreement, we're not going to put it on his resume. You know what I'm saying? So he went over there to test these giants out. You know what I'm saying? To see were they qualified top tier elites. I mean, you naysayers keep saying the same thing. He didn't fight. He didn't fight. It's nothing but bombs. But where are the bombs at, man? Y'all get mad. Look, I'm tired of you frail ass niggas getting mad because I'm voicing an opinion. But a lot of the shit I'm talking about right now is facts. Like it's straight up like that. If you take Wilder, Fury, Joshua, where are the other MFing giants at? We're talking about before Usyk came on the scene. Where are they? Where are they? Was it Philippe Herkovic? Was it supposed to be Philippe Herkovic? Because I remember they wanted to put him in there. What happened to him? Dubois just said, okay, Dubois just turned the corner. Dubois get a win over Jarrell Miller, who was suspended for pads and been out the ring for a long time. So he get credit? He come over here and fight Philippe Herkovic, who wasn't established anyway. They was just goddamn bigging him up, bigging him up, bigging him up. Herkovic. He gets stopped by Dubois, who they was calling a quitter when he was defeated by Alexander Usyk. Where all these killers at y'all talk about when it come to Wilder? 48 pro fights, 4 losses, right? Where are all the killers? Where are all these undefeated warriors at that Wilder avoided his whole career? They'll sit up here and say, well, WCS is over there getting up. I'm not emotional about shit. Because look, y'all come over here and listen. If it was all bullshit, y'all wouldn't come listen. And I can care less who sit up here and always want to drop those emasculating freaking insults and obscenities all because it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? You say you fuck heavy, you rock heavy with freaking boxing, right? But yet you don't get attached to fighters. That's a lie. Y'all niggas get attached to fighters. But my question goes back to people who are constantly saying Wilder fought bums. Who the fuck did Fury fight? Why didn't Wilder get an exemption to go out and do drugs and leave the sport for 3 to 4 years and come back with a mental health goddamn frontline excuse and y'all embrace him like that? Was that what he was supposed to do? He's supposed to just step away and be on drugs and be a crackhead and all this other shit and then come back and say, hey, I'm back, y'all. I went through some personal problems. You know what I'm saying? I left my family. And you know, my daughter that you see in the thumbnail, it was all for her initially, but I just lost my way. I lost my focus. You know what I'm saying? I lost, but I'm back now. Well, Wilder, how do you expect at your age to make it back to the championship level? Things have changed. I don't know. I'm just gonna give it my all. That's the only thing I can do. I'm just gonna give it my all. Would y'all would have embraced him like you did Fury? Y'all niggas up here chuckling, and y'all love to see Fury act like a damn fool. But I remember when we was in LA, baby. I remember when we was in LA. When Wilder wasn't talking to the fucking press. Why? Because his fans didn't give a shit when he took that L and they was up there talking mad shit about him. So he sent Malik Scott to talk to her. And I remember looking over at Tyson Fury and all these media people who act like they're gonna be up here. Oh, Wilder, we just want to interview with you. You know, this is your last fight. We just want to show our love. And we was truly compassionate about covering you. I saw all these media people over there with Fury. We're in the US now. We're talking about a drug cheat. We're talking about a person who's in a controversial fight. Then nobody, look, this is a person who already been removed from the sport for cheating, right? But yet, in the eve of it, he's getting accused for cheating again with his equipment, amongst other things. And people try to sit up here and advocate for him. Oh man, this is not true. That wouldn't be Fury. But he been caught cheating. Oh, that was a long time ago. Get out of here, guy. Come on, fella. Wilder didn't have the opportunity. You trying to tell me Wilder doesn't get the opportunity to leave the sport and be a crackhead? Wilder didn't have the opportunity to quit and you all still embraced him? Wilder wasn't a crackhead. He didn't quit. He didn't quit. So you take the Olympia status, right? Wilder, Joshua Usyk. You take the Olympic status, Wilder, Joshua Usyk. Shouldn't they be getting that same love? Shouldn't they be getting that Lomachenko love where they went to the Olympics and did what they had to do? Come on, man. Shouldn't they be getting that love? They should have got the love. Like Wilder's not out here on the highway freaking crashing his goddamn cars, running from the police, and goddamn getting OWIs and having drugs on deck. Why do y'all continue to support these fighters? Well, vilify these fighters who haven't shown you that they was in the sport and they choose to just, get complacent and jeopardize their career. You know what I'm saying? Wilder never even said that, but he gets freaking ridiculed, right? For having the same amount of wins and knockouts at one point in his career. And they say, oh yeah, well, if you fought the competition that he fought, you'll have the same thing. They had like niggas was going in there just laying down. They had like King Kong Ortiz wasn't avoided. And then they talk about King Kong Ortiz testing positive for a banned substance. But they don't give no credit for Wilder for giving him a chance knowing that he had tested positive. But yet we got Devin Haney that refused to go in here and face Ryan Garcia in a rematch just based off him taking something that the boxing public knew nothing about prior to. They ain't cut the same, bro. They ain't fucking cut the same, yo. Deontay Wilder dealt with 2 fighters who had tested positive in their career. You know what I'm saying? And probably some more. But he gave freaking Tyson Fury opportunity, and he gave King Kong Ortiz opportunity. I know he ain't gonna get no freaking extra credit points to get him to the hall. But I'm just saying, y'all say he didn't fight anybody. How? Who is Joshua? Joshua's entire career has been manufactured, bro. Yeah, he's brushing elbows with the sheiks. Salute. But we all know he didn't win that gold medal round in the London Olympics. Look at the fight. Don't just listen to me. Look at the fucking fight. Look at how he looked against Klitschko coming out of retirement. Look how he looked against Joseph Parker. What's in the gym should come to the light. What happened when he stepped up against freaking Andy Ruiz? What happened when he stepped in with Alexander Usyk? He didn't get it done. But y'all saying that Wilder fought none but bones, but you don't want to criticize Joseph Anthony Joshua being absolutely overrated. Y'all up here cheering him knocking out a 0-1 mixed martial artist that no one's heard of. Well, bless his heart, rest in peace. His son passed. So I gotta chill. You know, prayers go out the Francis Ngannou. His son did die. All right. His son did die. But keeping it on boxing, people was jumping up and down just because the knockout looked good. It looked good, y'all. Look, I don't know how many memes I done seen with Wilder getting knocked out yesterday and getting up. But I don't think Francis Ngannou, a fighter who didn't have any wins in professional boxing, I don't think that was near as many memes on him when Joshua just blasted him because he took 20 million. Who does that? You just walk out to the middle of the ring. I'm posted. Okay, incoming. Bow. What about Otto Barlin? Was that the same Otto Barlin that fought Tyson Fury? Was that the same Otto Barlin that fought Tyson Fury? Because he didn't do a motherfucking thing in there with Joshua Self, sit his ass on a stool and don't come out after the 5th round. So when you talk about killers, where do I locate them to say, no, we're going to X these boxes and Deontay Wilder is not eligible for the Hall of Fame first ballot? Where is the evidence? Don't bring up no motherfucking Klitschko's. When they was on the goddamn the rampage, it wasn't a single freaking heavyweight that was out there that was reigning defending. A U.S. Olympian come out of Tuscaloosa and wins a fucking title. Oh, but Maine wasn't shit. But Maine wasn't shit, man. But he has the title though. Ah, he ain't fighting nobody. Who should he fight? He should fight Joshua. Well, okay. They tried to make the fight. When they trying to get a man 12 million flat on a fight that's potentially a 70, $80 million fight? Who does that? Who does that? Real talk. Who does that? Who says I'm just going into work and regardless of what my position is in the corporation, I just want to get paid $5 an hour flat. I want to sign a contract. I plan on staying here for at least 25 to 30 years, and I never want my pay to go up. I don't want no pay increases. I don't want shit. I want to show my loyalty. Give me $5 per hour. Even though my position, I can get high at $60 to $70 an hour. I want 5. Nothing more. Nothing more. That's it. 12 million flat. And then Eddie Hearns, I remember him saying, at the end of the day, I think I'll give Wilder more than he ever made in his career. Pretty much more than he ever made. So this is what we're gonna do. They're complaining about 12 million. Let's give him 12 million and $5. That's more than he ever made in his career. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. You understand? You know what I mean? Take it or leave it. You get over it. But Joshua is the biggest star in the sport of boxing. And Joshua, when it comes down to it, it's a massive, he's a massive star in the UK. Yes, he is. So Deontay, he doesn't sell tickets. Joshua's selling out Wembley. I'll say, oh yeah, he's selling out Wembley, huh? So correct me if I'm wrong, and I have no beef with Eddie Hearns. He's doing his thing. But when Eddie Hearns was saying this, Matt Legg was the guy he stepped in there with the first time at Wembley, and that shit wasn't sold out, and nobody knows who Matt Legg was. I think he works security now. You know what I'm saying, for Quick Trip, the one out there off flash shows. But he fought Klitschko, and he needed Klitschko as a dance partner to sell out Wembley. Yes, that probably was sold out with the legendary Klitschko. Yeah. But besides that, this Wembley, no, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. And then the crazy part about it, I still remember. You remember when Deontay was trying to get the fight, and somehow Joshua was on here and say, "You give me 50 million, fight tomorrow," and somehow that shit started to pick up a little traction, right? And Eddie said, "Hey, Joshua, you stupid? Are you out your motherfucking mind? Are you crazy? We're not fighting Wilder." They hurry up and got the sanctioning body to say if Joshua doesn't fight, his mandatory, he's going to be stripped of the title. And then they came out with this huge announcement: Joshua 2-fight Wembley deal worth 100 million. Well, guess what? You know who he fought at Wembley after they ceased negotiations with Wilder? Alexander Povetkin. He goes in there and stops Alexander Povetkin. Whoopity doo dah. Whippity doo dah. You know what I'm saying? And what did WCS say back then? I say, first and foremost, I don't think this fight is going past 10 due to reasons of common opponents. So Joshua stops Alexander Povetkin. And then when April the following year comes up, no fight. He didn't even go to the second Wembley deal as a part of that big exclusive contract Joshua was supposed to be in. Joshua was supposed to fight a second fight the following year, and it didn't happen. We're talking about giants, right? We're talking about giants in the heavyweight divisions. We're talking about names that levitate higher than Tuscaloosa's own Deontay Wilder. Where are they? Because they're pretty much around the same. Like, you cannot convince me I'm going to get value. I'm going to get value off a fighter that they say wasn't shit. But just because I fight him, all of a sudden I'm getting all the accolades as if he was the shit. So which one is it? Because it can't be both. Either he was the shit or he wasn't shit. Because as I remember, Tyson Fury was provided the fight of the year for winning in February. How and why? If Deontay Wilder fought nothing but a group of bums, how do you get rewarded for taking a man's title when he had it for over 5 years? How does that work? Furthermore, when Eddie Hearns was up here saying, hey, well, we're going to have a massive fight. We're going to do heavyweight undisputed. Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua for heavyweight undisputed. While all alone, Wilder was in freaking arbitration. But they're running with this narrative. And guess what? It didn't happen. And it still hasn't happened. And it won't ever happen. Because why? Because Tyson Fury was just defeated by Alexander Usyk. And you know what? We might not ever see Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury again for the undisputed because the IBF is absolutely trying to strip Usyk of his title. I ask you again, where are the killers? Find them. Bring them now. Where are the killers? I want to see the killers. Please, I want to see the killers that's going to stop Deontay from the Hall of Fame. What is going to stop his eligibility when he retires from going to the fame? Who's going to prevent him from wearing the jacket? Do you know them? Bring them now. That's all I want to. That's all I want to get across to y'all. I keep hearing the same shit, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. I point out Malik ran over to Zhang corner before he ever went. I don't know what that was about, man. I have no idea what the communication was. Real talk. I don't know, shouty. But like I said before, when it comes to freaking grown ass men in a combat sport like that, if he got off the canvas and he was walking, then people are not going to be holding you like you're a baby and trying to burp you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't read a whole lot into it, but it did look weird at first. And then I was like, well, if Wilder was in the corner just fine, then that's not the first time he's went through adversity. That's all. Wilder didn't look like he was happy after the fight, though. I didn't get it's over vibe from him when he dapped up Zhang. He was clearly mad about something. I don't know what he was mad about, man. He might have been mad that the referee stopped the fight. I don't know. I mean, with the Riyadh media, the cameramen, there's some angles they just don't get. I don't know if it's purposely done, but it's certain angles in audio they don't pick up. I never really liked Scott the head trainer, especially after the Parker fight. Hellenius didn't last long enough for us to see what Wilder would actually look like. Well, put it like this: boxers say all the time they don't get paid for overtime, right? They don't get paid for overtime. But like I said before, with 4 fights, Malik Scott is one and four. Based off the Fury, Hellenius, Parker, and Zhang. So you have to say to yourself, okay, if Wilder's gonna come back for another one, do he keep the same trainer or does he go somewhere else? I mean, Anthony Joshua went over there to Diddy James. He went over to this trainer. He went over to that trainer. He's been switching it up. Whether it's helping him or not, I don't know. Because just like you said, you didn't learn too much. It would have been good to see Robert Hellenius. I didn't think Joshua did anything against Otto Wallin, his last fight before Ngannou. I don't think he did shit. And then with Ngannou fight, man, come on, man. Ngannou was 0-1 already. He looked good against Fury, and he got all that praise, and then all of a sudden he takes the motherfucking orders. It's just unbelievable to me how Theory did hurt him one time in that fight, but after that, he was incredible hook and hurt Wilder with any punch that he threw. Shout out to the OG Mr. Golden. What's good, man? I mean, look, it's not my effort to go up here and do the impossible. I can't stop what grown ass boxing fans are thinking. Only thing I've been able to do is defend when it comes my way. Like whenever, adversity strike. I went through the whole deal when he lost for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you support any fighter heavy, yeah, you're gonna have to get the backlash that comes with them taking a loss to whatever. It can be an opponent that them individuals don't even fuck with. They just want to come over here and remind you that hey, that was your fighter. That's who you was rocking with heavy, and they lost. Now what? You know what I'm saying? He said, "Talk that talk, still bomb squad for life." Win, lose, or draw, he won in life. Yeah, for sure, man. His whole purpose was what? To start fighting for a purpose. The purpose was completed. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had up here what I had up here. The purpose, the mission was complete. You know what I'm saying? They say what they want. You know what I'm saying? But the purpose was, for his daughter. The mission was complete. 16 in the game. 16 in the game. 48 fights. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You got Canelo with 30 plus fights in Mexico. But we have an Olympian here in the US that get criticized by his own people and say he fought nothing but bums. And then when you ask them in comparisons and analogies and tell them to put and formalize deductive reasoning to come up with how Wilder can be at the bottom of the stack in this era, they can't do it. They can't give it to you. They just mad because WCS is willing to play a little bit longer in the playground with y'all. Like, explain to me how it all works. That's all. Explain to me why all these damn giants was hiding the whole fucking time and never came out. They supposed to be the one to knock Wilder's head off, not a motherfucking Fury who was out the sport for cheating. Usyk exposed all of them, and he's the only Hall of Fame out of the bunch. That's not absolutely untrue. How did he expose all of them? He didn't expose Dubois. Didn't Dubois lose to Joe Joyce? Once again, a casual up here without permission, in the closet, and he just graduated. He want to come up here. Let me see. I just saw a shadow go across. Okay, cool. Let me hurry up and go up here and say some dumb shit. How did Usyk expose? He exposed Witherspoon, Chisora. Who did Usyk expose? Joshua, who had already been beat by Andy Ruiz. Nigga, you're lacking. Get the fuck out of here. You're lacking, bro. You lacking. They call Wilder a bum, but when Fury beat him, hey, Fury was the best thing since the wheel. What? What? That's all I'm saying, bro. Wilder's this bum, but when Fury beat him, he gets put on the magazine. How does that value excitement works? How do you transfer that over? How does the appraising value go from bum status, and then when Fury beats him, it goes to glorification? Get the fuck out of here. Bias as hell, dog. Bias as hell, bro. I agree. Fury's resume is no better than Wilder's. I'm telling you, when you look at the resumes of these fighters, the only one that haven't been on the scene that long now, Witherspoon, Chisora, Joshua twice, Dubois, and then Fury. Right? That's 6 fights for Usyk, right? At the heavyweight division. Wilder has a total of 48. Out of these 6 fights that Usyk has fought, right? You're talking about 2 Joshua's championship fights. Okay, 2. He won the titles. And then you talk about Dubois, the second defense of his unified titles, and he got the Fury for undisputed, for 2 times undisputed. He did his thing. But who did he do it against, though? Anthony Joshua? He wasn't the first to do it. But they're going to give Usyk credit because they love to show him the golden child ticket, like they do Lomachenko. Just because they was over there at war. The U.S. is in war all the time. But yet you got individuals up here that saying, oh, I don't want to show no goddamn love to no vets. But y'all showing more love to a boxer from another country that went into combat, but yet WCS tell you he a vet. Oh, nobody give a fuck about that, nigga. We don't give a fuck, dude. You chose to go in there and work for the white man, nigga. But they over there talking about Lomachenko. He went to combat. He didn't go outside the wire. Him and Usyk did not go outside the wire. That's a fact. They was a part of the security detail. They was inside the wire. When Lomachenko took that picture with them camouflage on, it wasn't a spick of dirt on that motherfucker. It wasn't a spick of dirt in that. So please spare me, because people be goddamn hopping on, support Usyk and Lomachenko. But one thing I say about Usyk, he's a good dude, man. I mean, one thing I can say, I like Usyk. He got mad personality. He's a good guy. But when it comes to these U.S. boxing fans, they want to sit up here and act like that has something to do with who he fought. He beat Anthony Joshua. That ain't the first time he been beat. That ain't the first time he got exposed by a better fighter coming from a lower division. Dubois, you gonna give Dubois? So we got Dubois, Chisora, and freaking Witherspoon. 3 fighters. Okay, we're not talking about what he just did with Fleet Herkovic. Herkovic was never nothing to begin with. We're not gonna hype it up like he was. Fury. So we get Fury. Once again, Fury gets the most when it comes to the praising value for Usyk, just like Deontay Wilder. So Alexander Usyk and Deontay Wilder have a common opponent in Tyson Fury. Let's not act like we're going to give Anthony Joshua all this freaking credit, and he's been stopped. He's been stopped. Stopped before. And then Usyk came over there and beat him for his unified titles. I mean, come on, he won the first to beat him for his unified titles, man. He wasn't the first. And what title has Daniel Dubois won when he stepped in there and he seemed like he was just deflated? And after he didn't get the damn call for knocking Usyk down, he just was deflated. So who is that lead? Fury. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I get it. Y'all not gonna get my time. I'm not your average Joe when it comes to talking this boxing. So when the strays come over here, you know what I'm saying, for wallowing around in the freaking dumpster all day, and you decide to wake your ass up and come over here and play, I'm not gonna give you that attention because you're not talking about anything that's really, piquing my interest. You know what I'm saying? You come over here talking dumb, I'm just gonna stroll past your payment. I mean your comment. Hey, shout out to Toby Bartley, Mr. International in the building. Salute. He said, I bagged Deontay Wilder last night. I was hoping he could turn back the clock and knock out Zhang. Hey, I was hoping he turned back the clock too. You know what I'm saying? Um, the first several rounds was pins and needles just for the filling out process. But I did see Zhang was trying to land heavy shots. And I did have concern that Wilder coming in there too freaking light, man. That was my concern. I thought he was too freaking light. Yeah, goddamn Fury over there jacking off uncastrated wild boar. Yeah. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to go that deep, Toby. Come on, you trying to open up shit? We ain't trying to go to Mr. Carefoot now. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell them before they come over here and talk about this Wilder shit, bro. They get mad at me. They don't want to be my friend no more. And all I'm doing is just talking about my bomb squad experience. That is it. I'm not talking about all the freaking uncastrated wild boar there, Toby. You brought that up. If y'all want somebody to go at Toby, dog. I didn't even go as deep. Toby the one came over here with an excavator and a motherfucking shovel and shit, digging up goddamn skeletons. But Tyson Fury gets credit for beating a fighter in the US of A bronze medal Olympian, right? He gets credit for beating the guy who never fought nobody. How do I explain that? That's all I'm saying. How the F do I explain why Fury would get credit for Wilder if Wilder was irrelevant anyway? How does that work? How do you give credit all of a sudden to one fighter on another fighter that was never considered to be the fighter? He had one coveted title in his ownership for 5+ years. But But he ain't fought nobody. He's just a one trick pony. He's a windmiller. He doesn't have any freaking skills. He's just a puncher's chance. Yeah, a lot of people hate on him, but they'll sit up here and congratulate Tyson Fury. Cowards. That's to any one of you that's out there. You can hate on Wilder, but you love and adore Fury. That means you don't give a damn how he cheated the sport and the fighter that he was attempting to cheat also. You don't give a fuck about that. You don't give a fuck about it, bro. Just say it. When Wilder was on top of the top heavyweights wanting to fight him, hey, talk that, OG. You know what I'm saying? Talk that. I'm not gonna entertain you. I don't want to hurt y'all feelings now. Shout out to Larry Lopez. What's good? He said Wilder definitely Hall of Famer. Salute to you, man. I agree. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer at that. Look, at the end of the day, like I always say, look, at the end of the day, like I always say, the truth will pave the way. The truth is going to pave the way. You know what I'm saying? When you did what you were supposed to do in the sport, the truth will pave the way. And who's going to be on the voting board when Wilder's name come up and say, "Oh well, wasn't he a repeat offender when he got kicked out the sport for popping positive for peds?" No, that wasn't Wilder. That was Jarrell Miller. Oh, my fault. He was black. Excuse me. No offense. No harm. I just got the two brothers confused. What about jumping in a Hellcat and running in the highway for the police when he was intoxicated? No, that wasn't him. What about flipping a sports car? You know what I'm saying? On a drop top. That wasn't him either. No, that wasn't him. Did he bite off the ear? No, that wasn't him. Prison time? No, that wasn't him. Attempted murder? No, that wasn't him. Well, that could be him because they did say his right hand was almost like he was attempting to kill people. There we go, there we go. But that was in the ring. That was a sanctioned bout. So it was boxing. It was within the regulation. Oh shit, you're right. Billy, you're smart. Somebody get Billy a freaking Coke out a Coke and some Cheetos over here, man. Good job, Billy. I was kind of lost there for a second. So we don't have anything to blame him about. What about let's see. Did he ever pop for Osprey? Nandrolone? Deca? Shit. God, that aspirin? I know he got some aspirin. No aspirin either? Damn. Oh, shit. Did he really win the bronze medal? Did he steal it? He won it? Okay. You're not going to be able to stop him, y'all. I don't care what you say. You're not going to be able to stop him. Period. You're not going to stop him. They're going to get mad because I picked up my tone a little bit. I'm not. What do I have to be mad about talking about this topic? I'm speaking about something that I pretty much know about. I have no reason to be mad. Every career must come to a close, goddammit. But the good thing about his career close is that he did everything that he set out to do, and that is a fact, Jack. Shout out to Samar. Peace and blessings, man. Beloved, salute WCS. Certified stamp the like button and support the grind. Salute to you, man. I see you. Outlaw pugilist on deck. Salute. What's good? I was rooting for Wilder, but sadly he's done. Time to retire. And those of you saying it's time to retire, I agree. You know what I'm saying? I want that man to retire. Don't come back to say, okay, well, I want to fight a softer touch. They're not going to give you credit for that. But ultimately, he the one been lacing up. He the one been lacing up. He has to make a decision on whether he want to go out with 2 straight losses on his resume. I could tell you some other boxers that have two losses. And in the blue corner, the youngest heavyweight ever out of Brownsville, Brooklyn. The one and only Iron, Mike Tyson. I mean, it's fighters out there that has freaking losses. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world, man, especially when you got your freedom. You know what I'm saying? When you can be able to communicate with your family and friends, you have all your faculties. You know what I'm saying? Your neurological mechanics and everything's in place. Everything is twitching just right, firing off. You know what I'm saying? Your thought process is still there. You know what I'm saying? The TTL. You know what I'm saying? Your pings is coming back in time. You know? It's not taking you a day to get an answer. But it's always fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's always fun having a wilder freaking chat. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna miss the bomb squad for sure. You know? But you can know if you come over here to WCS and if you miss the bomb squad, I always got it for you, shout.
Bomb squad!
I know that woke some of y'all ass up that was sitting up here listening to me talk. I knew it woke. I know it woke y'all up.
Bomb squad!
When he actually did that bomb squad, people, he was reigning, defending heavyweight WBC world champion out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You already know. You already know. You already know, shawty. Why do people get mad and don't want to then be your friend no more? All because you had the opportunity. A lot of these niggas, look, if they had the opportunity to cover some of the older heavyweights, and they had the opportunity to take pictures and be able to talk to them, right? If they had pictures with Ali, Frazier, Foreman, you know what I'm saying? Even if you lived long enough, you went back in the day, man. You know, you was with the Jack Johnsons. You know what I'm saying? You with all these freaking heavyweights that are popular. You'll be talking about them. You know what I'm saying? You'll be talking about it. You will be talking about them any chance you get. They're human beings competing in a full contact sport. They're called the hurt business. I'm just saying. You'll be talking about it just like me.
Hey, what you got to say there, champ? Yeah, man. What's up, Black? Hey, Deontay, what you got to say? What you got to say? To this day! To this day! To this day!
To this day! Don't be mad at me. Be mad at Deontay. He the one said it. He the one said it. Don't be mad at me, shawty. And look, I'll close with this. That's all I could do. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. You know what I'm saying? And once again, champ, if you retired, you retired. You don't need to prove anything else to nobody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to prove it to nobody. You did what you had to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You did what you had to do, man. But one thing I have, and you know, my sons already know, I was able to be right there when the champ was actively reigning, defending, undefeated. You already know what it is. I'm out. Peace.